put it on and see what it do. What's happening? I wonder what's going on. Something. Meaning? Something about success. 10 of Pentacles. Can't complain. Success. Massive success, too. Nothing wrong with that. King of Swords gonna have to go on somewhere. Loss and pleasure. Something that King of Swords is doing is over with. But whoever that is, it's over with. No, I want to reconcile. 9 of Cups. Okay. The Star. Nice. 2 of Cups. Okay. I like that. Already. 100% balanced. Moving forward quickly. I see happiness, which falls in line with the 10 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. Six of Wands, yeah. That's nice. There's nothing like winning or better yet, learning the recipe and then getting it down and then putting your foot on the gas and making money off of it or being successful with it. So you learn something or you're doing something or anything, shit, you know. You walked into it and just was like, you know what? I've always wanted to learn how to do glass blowing. And then suddenly you went and did it. Like, it's not hurting anybody to learn glass blowing. It's something I've always wanted to do. So I'm going to go do that on my weekends. And then weekends turned into once during the week as well. And then once during the week turned into twice during the week and the weekends. And then twice during the week turned into 3 times a week and the weekends. Like, so it became something that I don't want to say obsessed, because that's not, that term is being so overly used. It's, you found something you like, and it's something that you enjoy. And because you enjoy it, you're doing it more. And because you're doing it more, and you're learning because you enjoy it, because it's something you've always wanted to do, the more you're doing, the better you're getting. The better you're getting, and the more you're doing, the more exposure you're getting. The more exposure you're getting, the more you're building a fan base. You're building a fan base, It's just like boom, 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 boom. But you're not seeing it as like that's not the motivation. That's not why you stepped off onto the ship. That's not where you. That's not your initial goal. Your initial goal was to do something you love, find balance in your life, and step out and do something that you always wanted to do. And then you finally did it, and now it's great. And now it's like, I love it. I absolutely love this. Like, bring me more of this. And you're doing well. But again, it's moving quickly. And just in case no one else is noticing, time already moves quickly. It's just sometimes we feel like the day is moving very slowly. But that's not true. The truth is, it's the other way around. Everybody thinks that time always moves fast. 60 seconds is not that long unless you're in a plank or doing a sit-up or, or any type of running activity or walking fast. 60 seconds is a long time. But aside from that, time moves quickly. Very much so. So you don't even notice because all you're doing is like, okay, well, I'm going to do something that I enjoy because my life is mainly about taking care of myself and, putting food on the table and, doing laundry and sweeping and mopping floors and, the chores in life. And, so let me do something that's not just the monotonous, mundane, everyday actions. That doing that right there just number one freed you up. It freed your mind up. It opened up your creative glass blowing. You know what I mean? That's something artistic and creative. It gets the creative, innovative juices flowing. It's an outlet for whatever's going on at work or at home. You can take your mind off of those things and then refocus or repurpose the energy into something more productive. I want to say productive because that's what energy is for, is to produce, right? And that's what you're doing, is repurposing it to something that you want to produce. It's producing happiness. It's producing, an outcome. It's your little wins, things like that. And it's moving quickly again. So I think that's, good news, basically. There's also some bad news here. How? 5 of Cups. Always the balance, ain't it? Always the balance. You feel amazing. You look amazing. You're in the driver's seat. You're captain of the ship, so to speak. Navigating your way, best way you know how. Freshly stepping off the porch to go do something that is in your mind very productive, very freeing, very helpful to your mental health, physical health, or whatever. It's helpful to your well-being, put it that way. And then you got the 5 of Cups. I look at this as 5 different people who don't have, they are not, I'm not going to say they don't have, they are not going to do what you're doing. Because thus far, they have not, past tense, have not done what you've already done. Because at the same time that you have 60 seconds, in the same moment, you and I both have 60 seconds. Except for the only difference is that in your 60 seconds, you chose to flip open your phone and look for new colors for your glass. I chose to flip over, or I'm not me, because I would never, but they chose to flip open their phone and find some abusive, negative content to absorb or create. You know, the outlet is different, is basically what I'm saying. The outlet is different. They're not in a happy place. Therefore, their energy is not producing happy things. So there's a loss in pleasure. They're empty cups. The things that they're growing with or producing with this energy is displeasing. It's how do you say that? What they're producing is displeasing. Yeah, it's dissatisfying. It doesn't satiate any natural urges that come naturally with being an I want to say a human being. Yeah, that's really what I want to say. Is that they're not, therefore not functioning as human beings, because they're not. It's like you're a human being. What are the requirements, right? Water, oxygen, food, right? Among other things, like what I'm saying now. There's also levels to this shit where you're pleasing senses, you're pleasing yourself on an emotional or spiritual, with the air quotes, level. But let's go back to the basics. So you're a human being, and the human body requires oxygen, water, food, to decide or to just not drink water, right? You're not functioning as a human being, because the human body requires water. It's a requirement. Like cars require oil, gas. I mean, unless you got an electrical car, but that's not the point. They require tires, to function correctly. So if you're not pleasing those senses as a balance, as a whole being, right? You can't be functioning as a human being. So what are you? Because, if you're not drinking water, right? And that's the most basic, or if you're not breathing, but you're still walking around, what are you? Because if you're not taking in an exchange of respirations and oxygen, what are you? Because that's what human beings do. That's what living beings do. So to not feed that element in yourself and literally consciously deny it, because we got to go back to the fact that we both have 60 seconds, right? And in that 60 seconds, intentionally, right? Intentionally dissatisfying yourself, right? Displeasing yourself. Because that's not really pleasing yourself to do something that's displeasing. So it's cognitive dissonance, really. This goes deep. But anyway, let me come back up a little bit so that some people can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So you have you over here doing you, balanced and whole and living the best way you know how, as healthy as you can, right? And then you have this Five of Cups interference, this balance, you know. On a plane, there's two sides. They are on the opposite side. Ooh. Oh. Three of Swords, the Last Judgment. They are facing some very important lessons. We all learn them, right? Right. If you're an adult, if you are growing at all on the planet, you should be learning something. You should be modifying yourself in some way. There is nothing that grows older that is not modifying every year in some way, every day in some way. There's no way. So this judgment, this is a final judgment. Fourth, it says Three of Swords. So several people, a group of people, which it falls in line with the Five of Cups, because Five of Cups, I said, is 5 people, so it's a group of people who had skewed vision, who had skewed knowledge. They weren't really following, like I said, they weren't following what pleases them. Like, they were doing things that displeased them. I don't know why you would do that, but that's why I'm not these people. That doesn't make sense. But that's why I'm not the one getting judgment. Whoever these people are, they have no choice but get it. It's the balance to the situation. Because those people who are doing the right thing, they're the star, they're the Two of Cups. They're trying to be healthy and feed themselves and be happy and understand that life is to be lived and loved and respected. And being negative and dark and doing things that intentionally displease you and throw you off, throwing themselves off mentally is so wild. My mind can't even wrap around why to do that constantly without learning some type of lesson, because I'm sure there were lessons every time they do something. Because it's negative, it's the law is to balance itself. So you're always, when you're doing something negative and you know it's negative, there's always a lesson there because it's trying to balance itself. But I'm not, again, going to get too deep. They're getting judgment. And it's bad because Saturn is here. And I don't feel like it's bad. I feel like it's major. It's major. I feel like it's major because of the fact that these people are not choosing to change on their own. They're not choosing to look at a situation and evaluate it. Be autonomous. Live in the now. Pay attention. You did X and then Y happened, right? And you didn't ask yourself how you came to A. Like, how did you get that answer? Like, you're not paying attention. So these have to be major upheavals in order to obtain the desired result, because it must balance. It's not a choice of balance. It's not like the speed limit sign on the side of the road where you can decide whether or not to pay attention to it or not. Well, it says 65, but I'll do 90. No, it's going to balance itself out. It is a requirement, it has to happen. Back to the whole water, food, respirations. Like, it's a requirement to do that. So they're on the other side of the plane. This side of the plane that you're on is lovely. So major things are happening in your life. So yay us. Because you're either on one side or the other. There is no in between. You're not in between. You are either on one side of this or the other. That's it. You all. That's out. That's all. So kudos. And then again, it's gonna move quickly. Same thing with the turmoil. The turmoil is moving quickly because these folks don't focus. They have little or no ability to focus. They have no self-control. Little or no self-control. Very impulsive. So it's I did this, it didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and it didn't work. And then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do no. Like, slow down, stop. Think about, like, can you let one thing actually get to its completion? You know, like I'm gonna go vacuum clean, plug up the vacuum cleaner, turn it on, and then decide, oh, I'm gonna go make some eggs, and then go put, turn on the faucet, put the pot in the sink to put some, water in the pot, and then walk away and say, nah, I'm gonna go blow dry my hair. The vacuum cleaner's still on. Okay, the sink and the pot are like, you're not making eggs, like. The water's running, the pot's still in the sink, and now you're in the bathroom running a blow dryer. So you can't hear none of the other things that are going on. You're not paying any attention to it. You don't care. It's that frivolous, childish mentality. Like light bills are paying themselves. You know what I mean? Like, again, not paying attention to the now. Where are you right now? like how are you a whole adult running up the light bill with the vacuum cleaner running, annoying your goddamn neighbors, right? Because all you in the bathroom doing your hair, like, so the whole time you're blow drying your hair, the vacuum cleaner's running. You think your neighbors think that you got that big of a house that you are vacuum cleaning for 45 minutes? No. Water just running. What are water bills growing on trees? Like, that type of thing. Like, not paying attention to what's happening now and not seeing anything to completion and just hopping from one thing to the next. Dissatisfied in its constant displeasure. Who? I don't know about these people. I don't know about them people, but back to the good stuff. Whatever you are doing, oh my goodness, I don't have to say that. Who the fuck I don't have to say that. Of course you're gonna keep doing it. It says it right here. Night of one. You going flying to the future. You're not on just any old ship. You're on a spaceship, traveling quick wherever you want to go. And all of it's pleasurable to you. All of it is right up your alley. All of it is all the things that you've been wanting to do. So none of it's boring, right? Because you always wanted to do it, right? It's like, and for you to get that engaged that now it's like flying forward, it's making money, it's 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, like, come on. Like, you definitely, all of it is something that's interesting, and I don't have to tell you to keep doing it, obviously, right? You're going to keep doing it just regardless, because why not? Shit. You know, what else are we doing? You know, that's how we over here feeling. Like, what the fuck else am I doing? Working? Well, shit, everybody got to work. You know, I want to do something else other than work and pay my bills. I want to live a life. This will be fun. What else? Like, literally, what else? Oh, well, that's interesting. Ten of Wands in reverse. The Two of Wands. Six of Swords. Yeah. So all of that oppressive energy, is gone. All of that stronghold, I'm trying to control you. You won't be happy if I have anything to do with it. That type of weird, very peculiar behavior that is unnecessary to everyone, even the people who are doing it, right? That's gone. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Those that are receiving on the other end of this, those that are on the other end of this, on the end of this where the tower is, where they need to learn a lesson, it's unforgiving, unrelenting. This is going to be major. And I said it was going to be bad, but I also said major. So, what I mean by bad, this is another good word, unrelenting. Because, you know, when you're going through bad things, if you live on planet Earth, you've been through bad things, right? You don't want that, whatever that was, to continue incessantly, right? Like, you don't want unrelenting and pain to be in the same sentence or in your future. You don't want unrelenting and poverty to be in the same sentence and in your future type of shit. And that's what's happening to these people because they never made the right decision. I feel like they are now cemented. It is written in stone that this is what they are. This is who they are. That's what I feel like this is. This is, okay, you didn't want to change, or you think, doing, peculiar things, strange, mean, bizarre things to people is funny or cool or whatever. Okay, now these things will happen to you, and there's nothing you can do to change it. So the people that they were doing it to could do as they will to change. These people chose not to, and now the tower is they cannot change. This is it. Like Michael said, this is it. And the opposite end of this is the people who had the will to change. Those people are cemented in their spots as well. You chose to change. You have shown that you will. That your will is your way. So you're going to continue to receive. Because when it boils down to it, you will change. You will. In timing. In the timing, you will change. Whatever is going on, you will change. Basically, I don't want to sound repetitive, and I know that I just did, but yeah. Yeah, that this domination bullshit, that's over with. This oppressive, I hate myself, so I hate you too, but I don't want to face it. I'm going to take it out on you. I'm going to take it out on you. That's childish as well. I don't know where that whole concept thought process came out of, but yeah, the oppressive, I hate myself energy. But I don't want to look in the mirror and figure out why and fix myself. I think that's the major lesson here, right? Right? I feel like that's the major part of this reading here is that there are people here that refuse to control themselves, aka refuse to take accountability, aka refuse to change. They were oppressing other people with their negativity. And now that those people have walked away or that relationship is over in many different ways, now they have no choice but to deal with themselves and oppress themselves. Deal with what they created. And they're stuck with themselves. That's punishment enough if you know these types of people. That's punishment. That is huge punishment for these types of people. Because they literally get off on putting their weight, putting their anger, putting their lives onto another person. Destroying shit and then calling you up. Can I borrow? Can I stay at your house? I need a shoulder to cry on. Dropping their weight on you instead of looking at what they did in order to need a shoulder to cry on. So success is here again. I guess it is a successful situation. These people are successfully going to learn about themselves. And everybody else who's already well in tune with themselves and have accepted themselves as who they are and have accepted that this is what they want to do, those people, that's a success as well, you know? Because you're going to do things that you want to do. And you're not allowing anybody to hold you back or talk about it, or we're not having a round table about what I want to fucking do, period. We're just not. I'm not about to share it with you because this is not an adventure for you. This is an adventure for me and me alone, myself. This is healing for myself. So I don't want your negative nagging ass around while I'm doing this. I don't want you calling me. I don't want you to know what times and days I go do this, because that's around the time they're going to be calling, texting, needing to ride somewhere, need to borrow your car real quick. That's around that time. As soon as they know something about it, they're going to want to intervene. So no, you're not hearing anything about it. You don't know anything about it. I'm not posting any fucking thing about it because it's none of your goddamn business. It's my business. It's something that's healing for me. Just like you don't know how many motherfucking pieces of cheese I eat in the morning for breakfast. You don't know what I'm doing over here, you know, on my time with me. You don't know that. Or at least they shouldn't if, you know, obviously they're not following you or, you know, having you followed in order to see what you're doing. Boy, it is a whole lot of commotion going on in the neighborhood today. Random. Massive amounts of commotion. I do not live in that type of neighborhood. No lies. Do not live in that area where there's a lot of commotion. But it seems to be popping today. I'm gonna pull out the oracle. That's what I'm shuffling right now, the oracle. Loyalty. One more. Nurturing. 6 and 2. Wow. I look at this and see loyalty to you. When you're loyal, you're a loyal person. Being around these types of people, they will test your loyalty on purpose. And that's not what loyal people will do. Right? But these types of people will test your loyalty and test you as a person. And it's a constant play game. I hate myself, and therefore I hate you. So anything to overstep your boundaries, get up under your skin, test you in any way, I'm going to do it. I'm looking at this as loyalty to self now. Like, damn, I couldn't be loyal to the people that were in my, air quote, circle. So let me be loyal to my little hexagram, to myself. Like, let me be loyal to myself. And make sure I'm pleasing thee correctly. And then the others, they will learn what loyalty is. Like I said, the punishment for these things, because they're not humans, I don't think they are. Again, I gave you a great example. They don't function like them. They don't function like a human being, do they? Like, you gotta pay attention to these things. They're not really humans. They're not. There's a glitch. You can see it. Doing things on repeat constantly without thinking. Like, think of yourself as a human being. Would you do that? No? Exactly. Exactly. That's my point. If you can think to yourself, at a certain age, I stopped doing impulsive things. You know? It's certain things that we all learn ourselves, you know, as human beings. We don't continue to do the same action as the whole I burn my hand on the stove and now I don't touch the stove kind of concept. When you go through something and it hurts, or you were down, and now because of those actions, if you're a real human being, you don't keep doing that action. Just like the whole burning the hand on the stove. You don't keep doing that. As a child, you learn that lesson, and then you don't do that anymore. Like, if you ever do that again, it's because you know, distracted and discombobulated, and you ended up forgot the pot holder or some shit and grabbed the whole thing out the oven without the pot holders or some goofy shit. But you damn sure did not do that. Like, I didn't test the fire was hot anymore. You know it. But these beings don't do that. They just keep on doing it. Now, again, logically, let's pay attention. That's not normal. And we need to all start looking at it as what it is. That's not normal, right? Like, can we all agree that is not normal. That's very dysfunctional behavior to never grow up, to never change. Never. You're never wrong. Let's be realistic here. Like, we all have an ego. We all have an ego of some sort. But do you literally allow it to drive absolutely every single thing without thinking at all? Come on. That's all I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense, and they don't function like regular human beings. So they're going to learn what loyalty, quote unquote, is to each other, right? Because they don't know how to function as a human being. They were getting it from the actual human beings. But since the actual human beings have said, hey, you know what? I'm going to head on out. I'm going to go do individual things that keep me, it keeps me engaged, keeps me developing, keeps me growing. But I don't have to engage with you. You can't mimic my style. You can't steal my creativity. You can't mimic the sound of my voice. You can't start buying the clothes that you see me wear. You won't be able to mimic me. All they can do now is mimic each other at this point. And they're going to learn that none of them know what loyalty is. Each and every last one of them have never grown up. Loyalty takes a level of ownership, accountability. It's being accountable for your own morals and your own opinion and your own actions. That's what loyalty is. Loyalty. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you're one of us, yeah, you know. It takes accountability, it takes maturity, it takes ownership to be loyal. It takes a level of pride, morals. They don't have that. Other card is nurturing. The other card is nurturing. These people, these things, they are the matrix. They are the matrix. They don't know how to nurture. They're not real. They have no idea how to nurture. They can only mimic what nurturing looks like. They can't actually do it. We can, though. And we're doing it by being loyal and loving and nurturing to ourselves. Oh, wow, this card flipped over. The Sacrifice, which is a 5. Wow. That's over with. There's no more sacrificing. Yeah, because sacrifice comes with loyalty. Again, there's ownership there. There's ownership. There's a level of stepping up and saying, or doing, whatever. But nurturing is very important. It's very important. Loving yourself, because when you all you are surrounded around are these domineering, angry people who just want to control you, shit on you, they hate themselves or don't know themselves. They're definitely not loving on us. That's not love. They want us to think it's love, but that's not love. That this isn't love. This isn't trying to control someone is not love. There's no way that's considered love. Love is acceptance, not not domineering. Like, I'm accepting you for who you are, but I'm accepting you for being a homosexual, but don't have sex with the same sex. Uh, that's not accepting. That's you trying to manipulate me and control me to do what you actually want me to do. Kind of like in the social scene or in the dating scene, people get with you, claim that they like you, and then down the line, I don't know how long, they then they want to change you. They want to modify you. They want to manipulate you to be what they actually wanted. That means at the beginning you really didn't want me. You didn't want me. If you wanted me, you would want me for what I am, not what you could create later on. And then that's a whole nother pot of weirdness right there, because who the fuck do you think you are that you're going to come into someone else's life and modify them over their will? It's their will, their way, in their life, not your will, your way, in their life. Meanwhile, your grass is over here hiding a motherfucker. You ain't cut nothing. you know? Fence falling apart, you know? Numbers on the house falling off, but you next door trying to run their house. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that all the way alone. Anyway, nurturing yourself is important. That's very much so important. The Matrix. Ooh, child. Yeah, that's true, man. True. Oh, the star again. Wow. Okay. 3 of Wands and the star. I just want to give an angel message. Just one, just in the middle of the deck somewhere. 8 of Pentacles. Well, I guess we went right back to the beginning, where you're doing the work. It ain't work, though. It's not work because it's not, for a lot of reasons, it's just not work. And I didn't elaborate because everybody who knows already knows. It's not work because of there's a list of reasons why, literally. But if you're already standing in this energy, you already know what I'm talking about. It's not fucking work. Okay, period. For real. And what this card's meaning is crafting, stable balance. Venus and Sagittarius, it's the stable balance. I used glass blowing. That's still crafting. The point is that it's something that you want to do and you went to go do it and it is successful for you and you happy. Not and. You happy and it's not work. Like, let's put it that way instead. All right. Well, again, enjoy yourself. Obviously, I don't have to say keep doing it. So, yeah, enjoy yourself. I mean, we made it, I guess. Bye.